I was looking at the wrong timer. I have another screen over here. I'm like, wait a minute, I've got 10 seconds. Oh no, I have 3 seconds. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody is having a decent night. We do have Jeffrey over here. I'm reading this now that your mom had a stroke and she's in the hospital. I'm so sorry to hear that. And nothing but all the good energy your way. Love, prayers, magic, whatever it is that people have, throw it Jeffrey's way. And I'm sorry to hear you can't be there with her. So, try and keep good vibes happening for you. But thank you for being here with us. We have some guests in the house tonight. We're going to start out with, let's see, I'll just pick one randomly. It was 3Dub is here with us. I didn't want to say who it was because I was going to surprise you. Catch you like eating food or something. 3Dub is in the house with us. What is up, 3Dub?
It's going good.
It's going good. Just good. Nothing.
Yeah, it's basically I watched Dune 2 for the second time, so kind of like enjoying it.
We still have to do a stream about that. I guess we'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Monday.
I know. It's been a really weird week for me, and everything's been pushed back. But it'll be explained. I have some stuff. I have some pictures or videos showing like what's going on behind the scenes, but it'll be explained. We will get to it. Matter of fact, if we have time tonight at the very end, we can kind of briefly give our just thoughts on it and everything. All right, let's see if he's actually at the desk. Is Paigey there? Yes, no. If not, I'm gonna just was awkward.
Awkward silence. Paigey, are you there?
Paigey. He'll let us know when he's back, I guess. All right, so we have Darth Bunyan in the house. What is up? Hello, Darth Bunyan.
How you
doing? Good. And, it's always open door policy. Everybody in the green room has access, so we never know who's going to show up. I don't know where everybody is. They all have the keys to the door. They can walk in at any point.
That signal has been lit.
Just everything swinging, you never know what we're going to get. Anyway, we have a few fun topics tonight. Actually, quite a few things. I was really excited today when I was like picking stuff for the stream, and I just saw how much stuff we actually have. And there's a quite interesting stuff. I have to say, one thing that I'm a little disappointed about is the Batman news. We'll talk about that towards the end. But we're getting a drought anyway. So I'm like, more delays, more things getting pushed back. I don't know anymore. The first thing I want to talk about, though, we'll get into, I have a video we'll share here. Is this TikTok ban.
Sorry.
So the TikTok ban is pretty big deal. It seems like a lot of government officials are on board. There seems to be some concern that if the ban happens, it will affect other areas of commerce because obviously, we are global. It's like the economy is a global economy. Like even though we have individual economies and countries, it's a global economy. And China, where TikTok is based, has a lot of like companies they work with around the world. And America, obviously, we're talking about especially cars, computers, cell phones, those kinds of things use a lot of materials that come from places in China. I don't want to say they would retaliate and say, oh, we're going to like jack up prices on stuff for you, but they certainly could. There's nothing saying they couldn't do that. And the reality is we don't really have the infrastructure to compete with if they decided to take some of the electronics that we use for everything and go, okay, now you have to make them. It would make the cost of everything go through the roof. And this is one of the reasons why, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not. I'm going to stop talking here in a second, but let me finish this thought. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, but like toys, like action figures and stuff, those have to get made almost exclusively in China because they are too expensive to make anywhere else in the world. So if you try to do, like if you're a person making a toy, for example, you want to mass produce a toy, you have to go through China because you're not going to really find a better deal anywhere else in the world. So we're talking about massive repercussions. Thoughts on the whole TikTok thing. Let's talk a bit more about
how good they are, like ingratiating themselves to the world in their talents. If what is being said is true, and there's a way for America to be vulnerable through that, then you just gonna have to bite the bullet. You just have to accept the consequences. Because that's not an acceptable trade-off in any sense.
We're technically they could do a lot worse because we're technically like almost 900 billion in debt with China.
Yeah. They could
So
call their debt. They could call it. So I just don't know. I'm not sure. But the CEO, I believe this is the CEO of TikTok, actually had some statements that were made here on social media. And let's watch it and then we'll talk about it. I'm not going to pause it. We'll watch the whole thing and then discuss it. Let me see what everybody thinks about this.
Hi everyone, it's Show here. Just wanted to share some thoughts with our US users about the disappointing vote in the House of Representatives. There has been a lot of misinformation, and I hope to clarify some things. First, thank you to our incredible community. You are what makes TikTok so special. Thank you for making your voices heard. Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so. This legislation, if signed into law, will lead to a ban of TikTok in the United States. Even the bill sponsors admit that that's their goal. This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok. We know how important TikTok is to all of you. It has given our 170 million users a platform to freely express themselves, and has empowered more than 7 million businesses in the United States. Our platform matters to the small business owners who rely on TikTok to make ends meet, to the teachers who inspire millions of students to learn, and to everyone who discovers and finds joy on TikTok. We will not stop fighting and advocating for you. We will continue to do all we can, including exercising our legal rights, to protect this amazing platform that we have built with you. We believe we can overcome this together. I encourage you to keep sharing your stories. Share them with your friends. Share them with your family. Share them with your senators. Protect your constitutional rights. Make your voices heard. Love you all.
I like this guy. Like, he's a really, really good spokesperson for his company, because immediately I'm like, this guy is somebody I would like to hang out with. He seems like a cool man. And so that really helps the message that's going out there. But he makes a lot of good points in here. If TikTok
I like how
is
he's
banned,
speaking to us too. I like how he's speaking to us too, because he's speaking in English to her.
So he's appealing
The
directly
issue
to
with
us.
that is everybody knows that China, like their whole country and the government, runs through the businesses.
Yes.
So them in there saying that we're completely independent is absolute nonsense and a bold-faced lie. So it's a total placation for people that don't understand how China truly operates.
So do you think that? So does that mean that you believe that they are doing all the stuff that the senators are saying, or that they're not being honest about?
I'm just saying there's a chance of it, and there's a reason to try and be safe.
Right.
Right. And it's better to be safe than sorry, especially in the light of everything that's happened in recent years.
So do we think that so in my opinion, I don't think there's a shot in hell that they sell part of their company to somewhere in the United States. I don't think that's going to happen. Does anybody else disagree with me in the comments or whatever? I don't think there's a chance that they're going to do that. I think that they would rather have a ban happen than sell part of their company off.
I think it's 50-50, if I'm honest.
Okay. Any reason why? Do you think it's because they believe they could still make money off of it? Is that why? Or okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made over here. It's a big market. You guys aren't like a small thing to like not take seriously.
Yeah. He is right though. This idea that our senators are saying this isn't a TikTok ban is a lie. That's a lie. They know that there's a high probability that passing this will cause TikTok to be banned, and they've all kind of said that. Because think about this, they're not doing this to all of the other social media outlets. It is just TikTok. It's specifically TikTok. So there's no way for them to lie about that. And I said from the beginning that there's a possibility that they have information that we don't have, but they're not telling us. They may know for a fact that something on TikTok, look, if I hate doing conspiracy theory shit. I hate this. I hate it. But how do I say this? Let me follow the path. Okay, for a second, pretend I am a conspiracy theory person for a second. What if there was something that they had done, like they got some information or something like that, and they did take it, and the U.S. government is aware of that, but they can't reveal it because it is like a government secret or something like that. Because remember, they banned TikTok on like in courtrooms and stuff like it's not allowed on government facilities or whatever. So what if they did find that out, but they can't tell us? Like, you
Because
know how
it
a parent tells you, you shouldn't do that, but they won't tell you why. They just tell you you
Yeah.
shouldn't do it, right?
Yeah, because it makes me real bad. Yeah.
Do you think that's what's happening? Because otherwise, from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to create like a panic in a certain way because of what they've got.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So Quindolyn here chimes in and says they aren't going to sell. If they do, I'll be shocked. I'm on the same boat with you, Quindolyn. Lance here says the Senate has to vote and they're going to kill the bill just like they did the last time. That's what a lot of people suspect. A lot of people suspect that that this will not go any further. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Look, I'm not someone that believes in conspiracy. So maybe it is all just what we see. Maybe it's all surface level. Maybe that's what's happening. But one thing he did say here that is absolutely true, we talked about this a bit when, a couple weeks ago, is if TikTok goes away, there are one or two places online that are waiting to take that money.
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts is one of them, and Instagram is one of them. They are ready to and willing to take that money from the TikTok people. And I would not be surprised, because right now on my phone, there's a YouTube app called YouTube Create. It's a relatively new app or whatever. It's in beta. And it's designed specifically to create shorts for YouTube. Like, you can do other stuff on it, but it's definitely like, here, make YouTube shorts. Like, they're really pushing their creators to do more shorts.
I've noticed it's become a lot more relaxed about music on YouTube Shorts, which is one of the reasons that I've been creating on there even more and have completely disengaged from TikTok, which is the only reason that I went over there is because of the music.
Yeah. All right, we have a super chat here from Daddy Hates the Metal. No, Daddy loves the metal. Don't you remember? He loves the metal. With a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the show. 2025 has 3 MCU films, 1 DC film, and a new Game of Thrones spinoff series. Speaking of excited for House of Dragons season 2 and 2, I am. I liked House of Dragons, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm very easy to please. Like, I complain about stuff, but I still watch it because I ultimately I want to like it. So there's only one show in the history of shows that I've ever completely given up on, and that was Legends of Tomorrow. I clocked out on that show. I gave up on that one. All the other ones I pretty much suffered through. I don't really count Naomi because Naomi was one of those ones where even when I was watching it, I wasn't like totally invested in that show.
Watching something else, I like Naomi. I don't know what everybody's deal is with Naomi. I enjoyed that show.
You know why I stopped watching it? That damn campfire episode. That's the one where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I feel like I am literally standing in front of an oncoming train at this point. Like, that's what it felt like to me.
My problem with it was the fact that they hinted at like having Superman, because you know that's Naomi's story, is she's a fan of Superman,
right?
And then he's an actor.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant.
Yeah. I truly felt like, also, it wasn't really a bait and switch, but I will say it was kind of scummy that they aired it on with Superman and Lois, and we're like, wait a minute. I know it's not supposed to be connected, but is there a possibility that Tyler Hoechlin crossed over to Naomi's world and then he disappeared? Because they kept talking about the multiverse and different dimensions, and I'm like, is that what we're gonna? Oh no, we're not gonna get that at all, because that would be just too fucking perfect, honestly. My favorite superhero, that's a really good question. That's a really good one. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I'm going to answer this. I have two, one from each of the major comic book companies. And I've talked about this. Are they going to be
what everybody thinks? Because I feel like I can guess.
Okay. I won't even tell you. I'm going to do a guess. So tell me who you think. One's from Marvel, one's from DC. Who are my favorites?
Doctor Strange from Marvel.
No. Spider-Man.
Yes. From Marvel.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious with DC, but I'll give you guys a guess.
Superman?
No.
Okay. Flash?
Yes. How about you guys? Do you have a favorite superhero? I mean, is there someone that you love just more than everybody else?
You could actually pretty much guess mine.
Superman? Is it Superman? It could be Supergirl, but I'll say Superman.
There's actually 2 in Marvel, though.
Oh, is there?
Yep.
Deadpool?
Yeah. Well, you got one.
And Wolverine?
Nope.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Well, I can guess that.
I've always, like obviously Spider-Man for Marvel and Batman for DC, but when it's
Mm.
not those two, it's like Doctor Strange and Nightcrawler fighting for the top spot.
I'll be honest, I did not really love Doctor Strange until the movies came out.
Oh, I've always loved Magic. Magic's always been
I
my
have
deal.
too, but something about him, like when I was little, I was like, he's lame. Like I didn't like him at all.
Oh, really?
And then like as I got older, I'm like, wait a minute, he's powerful as fuck.
Yeah, honestly,
he's a
all
really
I needed
powerful
was a
character.
goatee and a cape, and I was good.
And
to go.
even though I loved his movie, I have to say the scene where I felt like I was having the best massage of my life was when he was fighting Thanos and he did the butterfly thing or whatever. I was like, he almost single-handedly like was fighting like by himself, and Thanos was like giving it to him. With a little bit more training, I believe, like we saw in that alternate universe, that he could have figured out a way to beat Thanos.
Yeah. I gotta say, Zaya is right, because Dr. Fate is amazing, and as much as I love Pierce Brosnan's portrayal, I gotta say I was hoping for so much more with what we got for Dr. Fate and Black Adam.
I feel like Dr. Fate is kind of a cheat code though, because he's not really a person. Like he takes over somebody's body.
I thought it was pretty like comic booky when Spider-Man wore the levitation cloak of Doctor Strange. I was like, okay, that feels like a callback.
Oh yeah. Daddy Hates the Metal with another $2. You are supporting the good cause over here. Deadpool and Spidey have similar suits. I think
one's web though.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of been not the OG Deadpool, because the original Deadpool was basically a Deathstroke clone, but the one that they kind of like started using after Rob Liefeld kind of let him go or whatever, that version of Deadpool became more like Spider-Man because of the quips and everything. Because I don't remember specifically, so I could be capping here. I'm trying not to, but I do believe that Deadpool initially was like just an assassin type character, and then he slowly became more like what we have now. One
of my favorite comic books is when he actually gets hired to murder the entire Marvel universe,
which a lot of people believe that's what Deadpool 3 is. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be, is honestly except they're going to do the Fox universe instead. So
okay, I've got to ask you while we're talking about that. Okay. In the trailer, the shot of the desert, where do you think that is? Do you think that's now or a flashback to anything previous in the MCU?
I think that's from Logan, right? When they're in the desert at the beginning of Logan.
They're also, it's like there's plant matter now, but they're also in the desert. The lack of plant matter, but there's also in the desert in Iron Man 1. If they're changing the MCU.
There is a desert and between Iron Man 2 and Thor, like there's a so it could be like
going all over. Like it really, I'm so excited for this movie. I cannot wait.
This movie. So we talk about $1 billion movies. I'm pretty sure if I were a betting person that this movie is going to make $1 billion.
I think it's going to make more than $1 billion.
Well, maybe it might possibly. Look, people love Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and they're getting him in the suit. Yeah, that alone, I think, would be $1 billion movie to be.
And this has this has trailers, and like people are talking about it, and there's no writer and actor strike, nothing to stop it from.
And it's the only MCU movie this entire year.
Yeah.
Okay, question. Do you think they're going to use the movie to flashpoint mutants into the universe?
Right? I think so in some ways. Okay, so are you familiar with the Ultimate Universe? How Wolverine was kind of like the beginning of like all the mutants or whatever? I think they might do something like that with the MCU, but...
So do you think Hugh Jackman's going to be one and done?
Yes.
He was one and done with Logan. That was supposed to be his it.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to do it. We know the TVA is part of it, so we know that, right? So, but I don't know how they're going to like seed mutants into the MCU. So I don't think it's going to be a full retcon, but I believe the reason why they're okay with delaying all the other movies, which they pretty much did, was because the Deadpool movie is that beginning to that reset of the MCU in a way that allows them to do some different stuff. That's what I think the Fantastic Four is going to happen because of what happens in Deadpool. I think that's what's going to happen. I actually believe that the mutant stuff is going to be from what happens in Deadpool. I think all of that is going to be from Deadpool. This movie might be the single most important MCU movie we've had since the first Avengers movie.
And that's I think that's the reason why we're getting so many rewrites, is because they found a perfect way to change history of the MCU to where it goes to a better journey than it was, where it was chopping and falling on their feet and failing at the box office.
I think there's 100% chance that Hugh Jackman will return to Secret War. I think everybody, with the exception of maybe a couple of people that have got some issues, looking at you, Crossbones, with Marvel, I think most of them will return for Secret Wars, because Secret Wars allows them to bring anyone and everyone onto the battle world.
Hugh Jackman pretty much said that he will. He wants to be in Secret Wars only if Tobey Maguire and there's another one that. There's two characters. Tobey Maguire was one of them that he has to interact with.
Oh,
okay.
He wants to interact with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, as long as it's not Tom Cruise as Robert Downey. Oh.
I think Secret Wars. The first Secret Wars was a cash grab for toys. The very first one from the 80s, that was to sell action figures, which I have a bunch of those action figures. The Wolverine one, where you could like use these plastic claws and put them on his wrist, and then it would look like claws on his hand. Like, I had all those figures. So the OG Secret Wars was basically sell toys. The second one was much better. The most recent one, was it 2015? I think it was 2015. That one's got a much better storyline. I would definitely recommend checking that if you have Marvel Unlimited. It's on there, or you can go to a comic shop and buy it. However, keeping on the path of the X-Men, let's look at some of the early stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna bring them up.
It was Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Paigey has returned from whatever. What were you doing, Paigey?
Well, I was watching something, and then one of my mates called me. They hadn't talked to for a bit, so
okay.
I got stuck on the phone.
So here we go. This is one of the early, so some people got to see the first 3 episodes of the X-Men animated series. We're going to look at a couple of their replies here, and then we're going to watch the clip, which, by the way, this clip tells me I'm not worried about this at all. I think this is gonna be a really solid cartoon just on this one clip. But here we have, I got to see the first 3 episodes of X-Men 97. It's nostalgia handled perfectly. The action and powers are awesome and creative. It's pleasantly hilarious and surprisingly sexy. Okay. I mean, Rogue's ass, remember they flattened her ass out. So it says this is a show for OG and new fans. All right. It's pretty good there.
Okay, good. Because I'm not going to lie, it's been a while since I've watched it. So I'm hoping for a previously on.
X-Men 97 is absolutely astounding. I'm floored by how much love this show, and the entire idea of X-Men could not be happier. Watch the first 3 episodes of X-Men 97. It's a blast from the past and a love letter to the 90s animated show. The mutants we love are back, and there's so many emotions and laughter, from excitement to sadness. I mean, this is just people who are like, this is what I saw. Because, I mean, keep in mind, this is supposed to be the very next day. The creators said it was the literally you stop watching the other episode, this is the very next day. I don't know if they mean literally. I'm saying that sort of
I heard somewhere I heard somewhere that the creator was fired. Is that true?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Okay. The first 3 episodes of X-Men 97 are absolutely epic. It exceeds expectations in every way. The nostalgia is strong, but it's so much more beautiful animation, storytelling. Favorite thing about X-Men is the drama. Now, Paigey, since you were away, I'm going to ask you, because you are always a voice of reason for the shills. Paigey, you've always said that the early reactions to stuff are never actually 100%, right? You feel like
it's more let me keep my access so I keep still getting early stuff. It doesn't mean they're lying in regards to saying it's they like it, but it's also it's putting a bit of hot sauce on it.
If I say it's a piece of shit, they'll never give me early access to another thing in the rest of my life.
Yeah, even the negative review will say a first impression will be it's what I expected, but they won't say okay, well, what did you expect? I'm not saying that that's the case with this, but even if it was a negative, a shit thing.
All right, so let's talk about the drama, and then we'll watch the clip, because I want to do a sandwich here, put the shitty stuff in the middle and the 2 good things on the side. So Bo DeMaio, who was the showrunner, writer, producer of X-Men 97, also worked on Moon Knight. Apparently, also works with the new Blade movie that's coming out. And I say works because I mean, if he was fired on X-Men 97, he might have been fired from everything. I don't know yet. We haven't heard anything about that. But apparently they fired him like less than, what is it? Like we got 6 days now before it comes out, something like that. It's right on the corner. Yeah, 6 days. So fired right before the show drops, which, to be fair, that couldn't have been an easy decision, because you don't get rid of the person in charge of the first 2 seasons, because season 1 and season 2 are done. You don't fire the person that did that right before it happens unless something catastrophic went on. And there's no news. And he deleted his Instagram. So we have no idea. Somebody, I think another person involved with the project, came out and tried to talked a little bit about it, but it was all nothing. It's not even worth talking about. They didn't really give any information on it. They were just like, oh, everybody worked really hard on this and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. We want to know what happened. So basically they didn't say anything. Marvel's not going to say anything right now, obviously. And now his social media is gone. So it's really weird, like, what's going to happen. And I'm curious what, the chat thinks about this, but what I've heard, and this has been not really debunked, I guess, is that he had an OnlyFans. But his OnlyFans wasn't like a naughty OnlyFans. It was basically just a thing where he got on and he would show pictures of him working out and stuff, but it was never anything, X-rated, I guess. I don't know, because I don't really keep up with that, but apparently that was what the situation was. But somebody said it might have gone against the indecency clause on his contract, because even if you're not putting out something like that, there may have been something on there that says you can't have one. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the case, because this cartoon, I saw some stuff today where it's like they're going out and they're talking to kids and stuff. I don't know if Marvel would want any of the people involved with this to do these events where they have also like an adult app that they're using to sell pictures of themselves and stuff like that. I don't think Marvel wanted that. Do you think that's enough to fire him, or am I completely on a wild goose chase here?
Am I concerned that a guy that was, I guess, the lead producer on a show has to run an OnlyFans if it was, or was it free? Like, what's going on? Or was it just?
I don't know, because it's all gone. The OnlyFans is gone. The Instagram's gone. Everything's gone. He deleted all of his social media.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's like, actually, this could be a Pagstradamus moment. Do you think he was taking the photos on Disney property and then putting them on OnlyFans?
Oh.
Because that's an easy way to go bye-bye. Because that doesn't mean you're doing it at home. That means you're doing it.
Right. That could be, because maybe it wasn't just having it. Maybe it was where the pictures were taken.
Yeah. So they might recognize it as like the bathroom, or they'd have a gym 100%.
Could you imagine like he's okay, so here he is, right? He's sitting in his chair at his desk, right? Shirt off. He just came out of the gym, sweat dripping everywhere, glistening, just muscles popping, right? And then in the background is X-Men 97 Showrunner. Oh, click a picture here or whatever. Let me put it up and sell it on my OnlyFans. That's quite possibly what happened.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. See, Paigey, I knew I kept you around for some reason. I'm always trying to figure it out. But
well, it's also because you're a fucking idiot and I need to bring you down to earth most of the time.
Yeah, that's the other
supplying a decent.
I feel like since they can't talk like give false information with DC because James Gunn would debunk it, they should have one for Marvel.
What do you mean, just like giving out false information?
No. Just have some guy randomly look at a bunch of these rumors and be like, that's untrue, that's untrue, that's untrue.
I mean, that was the topic of my video today, is that Kevin Feige has been MIA. Where the fuck is Kevin Feige? I mean, seriously, we've seen all this promotion going on. Deadpool 3's coming out. Where the fuck is Kevin Feige? He's nowhere to be found.
He turned into AI. He's going
to be photoshopped into a picture next week. Don't you worry about it.
I mean, he's that face of the MCU, and I don't I don't think he would be out there talking about what happened with Bo DeMaio, because that's X-Men 97, because that's a different thing. But he's been absent. I thought about that when I was talking about this last week. Is like he's just been missing. I don't remember the last time I spoke from, like, maybe last summer.
Sorry, fat man plays. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Oh no,
that is hilarious.
That's hilarious. It is a crisis, I guess. But the reason why I even asked that is because of the Marvel stuff, and we'll talk about the like all the cancel stuff after we do this. But before we get into that, I want to watch this clip, which will probably get called out here on YouTube as usual. So if this portion of the video disappears, you know the deal. You become a Team Airrick member, you get to see it all completely uncut. And don't snip that out and use it for something.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, we're gonna watch this little clip here from X-Men 97. I'm telling you right now, the animation, What If should be this animation. 100%. This is so good. It feels like the 90s animation mixed with like Avatar, mixed with modern like 2D animation. It's so good. All right, let's do this. I'm so hyped for this. All right.
Seventh heaven.
Paige's gonna pick it apart though, I'm sure. So
Seventh heaven.
what is going on with Twitter?
It's not loading. Yeah, I get this sometimes.
All right, there we go.
Heads up!
Greetings, enemy mine. Might I induce you to a change of heart? Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful involuntary friendship.
There we go. That was the clip.
If it was like if that was the animation of What If, I would watch What If.
Yeah, like non-stop, right? That's great.
So good. Oh my god, the voices, hearing Beast talk, like, oh my god, like I'm so ready for this fucking cartoon. All the people out there trying to talk shit about it, like, eat dog shit. Like, seriously, this looks
As
like
much
it's
as
gonna
I
be so
like
good.
Was
Kelsey
that
Grammer,
Power Man? Power Man? The one that was that took the blast?
Bishop.
Bishop.
Oh, okay.
As much as I like hearing Kelsey Grammer in the Marvels, if that voice came out of Beast in the Marvels, I would have just lost myself.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Do you mean recently why it's hated? A bunch of nonsense, a bunch of dumb shit. Rogue's ass was too flat for them, and Morph is going to be non-binary, which we we have no idea what the fuck that means in the context of the show. That's the only reason I've seen people hate on it. It just makes no fucking sense at all. Daddy Hates the Metal. You're with another two. You are single-handedly the MVP tonight on this. Fun fact, I was born in 1997 when the X-Men 90s ended. Oh,
Wow.
well, you can watch them all. You got a week. You got a week to watch them all. I feel like you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Do some homework.
I lived through it, so I mean.
But Paigey doesn't watch cartoons, so you have nothing to add there, right, Paigey? You're not a cartoon person.
You don't watch cartoons. Why?
Well, I watched. You know what? I did rewatch. I rewatched Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I watched that like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay.
But you just haven't. You're just against it or watching animation.
I'm not
in general?
against it. I just find it hard to connect it. Like if it's like I mean, I just find it hard to connect to it a lot of the time. And that goes the same with some like live action movies as well. Like I'm not feeling it.
That's fair.
Exactly, Morgan. I meant to make Morgan a mod. There we go.
I ain't heard that in a while. Absurdy spaghetti. That's great.
Well, I mean, when she showed herself to be a fake fan, I mean, how can you not? Literally getting upset about dumb shit. She didn't understand why there was a fashion show. Hellfire Gala, you're not paying any attention to fucking comic books. Why Storm has a mohawk? Are you kidding me? Like, give me a break. You don't have to like her mohawk. I get it. Some people aren't edgy like that. I understand. I'm super fucking edgy. Paige will tell you, I live on the edge. I'm the edgiest.
Yeah, behind off stream, lots of slurs. It's actually sort of crazy.
I know. I can't help it. It just rolls off the tongue every time.
Morgan's got power, unlimited power.
Power unlimited, yeah. So by the way, yes, I just watched this right before. I didn't even know it was back. I didn't even know it was fucking back. Somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh, Invincible's back." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I saw no advertisement for it. So I went and watched it, and it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I only know because Darren's been keeping me abreast of when it's back. But yeah, no advertisement whatsoever, and just an explosive return.
I am so tired of these streaming services being like, people don't watch our shit. Advertise it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell me when it's coming back. I didn't know. You should have been spending the last 7 days telling us that Invincible's coming back. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
really
Is that a Black Eyed Peas hat?
What?
Your one, Eric. I know it reminds me of the "Where Is the Love" music video, but that might be a different.
Hold on.
Didn't they do like a similar thing?
Wasn't that just a red X?
Let me see.
Oh, it was a question mark. It was a question mark, wasn't it?
Yes. So it's not. No. It's
not
okay.
Sorry, I know what. Actually, it looks like that marshmallow dude. Is that what it is?
No.
Okay, it's just a blockhead.
It might look like something else, but I didn't buy it for those reasons. So no, I don't think.
I thought you might have. I thought you might have been a big fan. Not too sure.
My
big question is, Eric, and you didn't answer it before because no one asked it. Can we get your opinions on the "I'm Just Ken" live performance at the Oscars? Because I knew that
I haven't seen it.
I need to see it so bad.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Should we take a shot and watch it tonight? Because it'll get removed from the stream. But should we take a shot?
Well, I guess you may as well. I thought you were
okay.
I thought you were.
We'll watch it at the end because we're gonna watch the Crow trailer. So we'll do the I Am Ken and the Crow trailer back to back.
Because you got the I Am Ken off hoodie, didn't you?
I did, and I have the T-shirt, and I dressed up as Ken for Halloween. So
I thought that was
Beach
Donald
Ken.
Trump when he was 30 years
I
old.
dressed up as Beach Ken, the pink and I didn't dress up as Donald Trump. When would you ever see me dress up as Donald Trump?
My dream.
I'm not wearing dirty diapers.
I was going to say I think he's out of cheetah dust.
So, is anybody else watching Halo season 2? Or am I the only one here that's watching it?
No, I didn't watch Halo season 1 either.
Okay, let me just say this.
Come on, baby.
But no, like it's not with like I just saw it. I'm like I liked Halo when I played it, but I didn't really care too much about the story. I just liked it because you could.
Okay,
kill
season
people.
2 is a fantastic show, but it doesn't feel like Halo to me.
So it's like Man of Steel.
Yes, that would be a good way to put it. It's a really good science fiction series. It's studying like PTSD and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like Halo to me. Like really. Maybe it will by the end of the season. I mean, if you're a fan of the Halo game, it's a coin toss whether you're going to like the show or not.
What's funny is I don't necessarily played the Halo games back in the day, but I've played one match. Basically, it was a family had an Xbox, and I went over there, and obviously time went by, and I didn't go back. So, anyways, but when I watched the Halo series, I don't like draw to the the OG lore or whatever. So I liked it for being a show.
I have to ask the chat because I don't know if it was a unique Australian school system thing, but it used to be the thing where you had Halo on your USB, and when you went to do computer class in school, like I remember like year 8 and 9 at school. Everyone would pass around Halo. You have your school USB. Everyone had Halo on it. You plug it in, connect to the servers, and you just play like massive multiplayer thing. You're meant to be like researching something.
Hold on.
Paper.
You could do that. You could do that back then. I mean, now you can do it.
Yeah, and you'd have Halo, and it'd be the whole class except for like the 2 idiots who are like, I'm gonna do my work. Like, okay, suck it then. And we're in a computer class for a reason, just to fuck around, not doing actual work. Yeah. Everyone's playing Halo. When the teacher used to come around, you have to alt tab and quickly go back to your random web page you're doing. Or
this sounds so complicated to play a game. It's so
the most we got was Mario.
Eric, you would go to the lengths to play Halo with the class and see who was the best at Halo. Then like
South
doing
Texas,
Excel.
I used to do it at the public library,
Yeah,
so I guess
yeah,
like a. Yeah.
Oh, I was going. Well, and
Jasmine
Counter-Strike.
says you guys played Halo in class. That's
Yeah,
funny.
Halo, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty 2 was the other one, and
Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 2?
no, Call of Duty 2, like World War 2, with like
I was
the
playing Black
Car
Ops 2.
98K or whatever it was.
Oh, Unreal
they were
Tournament,
goated.
Morgan? Really?
That was the one that I think some of the like the years before I'd played. It was like this generational USB file that went around for like the years before, and you'd pass it down like in a home group and stuff. I know what do you call homeroom? I know what you'd call it in America.
It's homeroom.
Somebody did it with GTA. I can imagine like what would happen in school if somebody's like wearing one of their normal like. Wait, San Andreas, did that have all the mods like GTA 5 or no? Did it? I don't think it
It's cheat codes, but not about. That's about it.
Oh, where? So Omega's in the chat, but not here.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up situation. All right. So before we talk about the Marvel stuff, Philip here says, anybody notice that Storm's hair gets shorter and shorter as the movies progress, yet no one ever gets mad about it until now? Yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
I honestly didn't notice until now.
Because there's a reason now. I've said this before.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything that happened in the past that would have like triggered people went by without them saying anything. But now it's a problem. Now it's suddenly an issue.
He did have a great haircut in number 3, though. It was awesome.
If you think about it, what happened in Days of Future Past could have changed the trajectory of Storm's
Don't look
hair.
that up. Don't look that up on YouTube. Do not look up hot coffee on YouTube unless you want to be like.
My favorite San Andreas mod was Lemon Party. That was another good one. Tub Girl as well. That was another good
anything
one.
that is named after like a food item usually means don't.
These
look it
feel
up.
like traps, but
They're definitely going to trap you.
You know what went really well with hot coffee? Blue waffle as well. That was a really good one.
No, sir. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so let's talk about
Actually, there's one more.
Okay.
I used to love hot coffee and blue waffle with Pain Olympics. That was always a really good one to watch as well.
No. That is a disclaimer from me saying do not look any of these things up on the internet. And if you do, you will definitely be burned for the rest of your life. Here.
God.
What are we doing? Are you playing? Is this Overwatch? What are you
No,
playing?
this is Star Citizen.
Oh. Why is everything popping in?
Okay, look, this game is buggy as hell. I
think you just have your computer's just not powerful enough.
This is Star Citizen. You need a monster PC to run this thing. They just had an update and I had to re-download all the shaders and stuff, so that's why everything's popping in.
Oh. Yeah, you need to check out your shit because this looks really good.
You need a monster PC to run this freaking game. Anyway, what are y'all talking about?
We're going to talk about the canceled Marvel movies. That's what the next topic is. Okay, so this is a rumor. I talked about this in a video on my other channel. But there's a rumor that Marvel is going to move away from some movies. 3 of them in particular are Eternals 2. That's one of the 3 that's rumored. The other one is Ant-Man the Wasp 4, which, by the way, I didn't expect one. So I'm not like, okay. That's fine. The third one is a Captain Marvel 3, considering we never got Captain Marvel 2. That was kind of weird because the Marvels was not Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. It was a team-up movie. It was called The Marvels. It was a follow-up to several different things. It wasn't just a sequel to Captain Marvel. So that was also kind of weird. But the reason why they're doing this is they say they're trying to get away from making risky things. They want, as they say, quote unquote, guaranteed hits. Now, again, this is a rumor. So for me, I'm like, well, wouldn't it be nice if everyone could make something that they thought was a guaranteed hit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting for me is the ones that you said they've chosen, right? Because with Ant-Man and the Wasp, they're going to be like, you're going to have her in the Young Avengers movie and then having her own movie at some point, right? Or just keeping in the team, right? At which point Ant-Man and the Wasp are going to be in her stuff. And the Eternals things it was a swing and a miss, let's be real. Do you know what I mean? And no fault or shade on anybody. It's just how it went. But that story can be handled in the side piece of a bigger movie. So it's interesting that they chose things that everybody has that are points of contention that they're choosing to illuminate as opposed to other things.
Yeah. So my opinion is I get why they would go away from Eternals. That movie, I still love that movie, but I understand there's a lot of reasons why they don't want to follow that up right away. I would have loved to see like a Star Fox movie. I would have loved to have seen, I don't know, a continuation of those characters, maybe not together as a group. Like, honestly, spoiler alert, the fact that we may not get Icarus back is fucking stupid. You know, I get that he was supposed to be the antagonist of the movie in some ways. But essentially, if you're looking at it through the perspective of like what Marvel had in terms of power levels, he was a Superman character for Marvel.
But dude, unless they retcon it, they've got like a factory of Icaruses.
That's what I mean. Like, we might still see him come back. We might still see him come back. But he's essentially a Superman for Marvel. Like, he's the closest thing that OG Marvel had to Superman.
Isn't Captain Britain also a Superman character?
Not at the same level. Captain Britain's powerful, but not at the same level.
Now, Captain Britain's well. No, I'm thinking about Captain Carter. Never mind.
So Captain Britain, if you go back and you read, and I'm sure Darth Bunyan probably read this, or if he was reading comics, read this originally when it first came out in Marvel UK. He had like a scepter, like a little mace or whatever, and he had like this red costume, and it looked really weird, and he was kind of like a super soldier, essentially, back when he first came out. And then when he kind of came into the bigger universe, we started to get like the Brian Braddock Captain Britain with like the Excalibur version. He's probably in between the power levels of like essentially when you first meet him, between like Captain America and Superman. He's like in between that range. As time has gone on, we've had more powerful versions of Captain Britain, depending on who's writing them, but not at the same level as Icarus. Icarus is literally like powered by the sun. Like, it's essentially just a allegory for Superman by all accounts. That's why the Eternals to me felt like a Justice League movie for Marvel, or they are attempting to do a Justice League movie. But I think the problem was that a lot of people, so GM says here, Captain Britain's powers are based on magic. Yeah. The thing is that it's really hard to get behind the Eternals because what the movie didn't really do well in terms of like with the characters is their outfits. And I know this is like a classic comic book thing or whatever. They were kind of samey same. You know what I mean? Like, there was not a lot of difference just other than color.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things they should have done with the Eternals is tried to make their costumes more unique looking. If you're going to do that, like break them up a little bit, make them a bit more unique.
Yeah, like full characters, you could have gone outrageous.
Yeah. So they didn't do that. Plus, I think the movie was a hair too long. I think there was a lot of drawn out parts that could have been like pulled back a little bit. But I stand by this. The Makari speedster stuff is the best speedster stuff we've ever had in live action. It's better than any other speedster. It's better than the Flash movie. It's better than the Flash TV show. And Makari's like not even in the top list of any of my favorite characters. But the speedster stuff that Makari did in that movie was incredible, especially fighting against Icarus.
See, I have to say, like, this is where I feel like the movie failed, because I don't think, while Chloe Zhao, I think her name is, did a phenomenal job as the director, like, the person that I like wrote the movie was not a fan of the original content, because
big surprise.
The whole robot thing, like, make the Celestials robots or whatever, but the Eternals being robots was just the biggest mistake that movie could have made. Like, the biggest mistake. It took like all, like, it just ruined it. Just ruined it, in my opinion.
So
that's right.
I know 100% that this will get claimed, but I want to watch it anyway, just because I want people to remember the end scene in Eternals where they face off against Icarus as he's sort of turned on the team. Is a really good scene. And I wish more people would give it its props. But I want you to see what Makari does here. This to me, so GM says, Morgan says, better than Quicksilver Days of Future Past. I like the Quicksilver stuff, but that is at another level. That's almost like Flash time to me.
Different, yeah.
And different. I love it, but it's Quicksilver. And Morgan, I know you're also a big comic book person as well. I don't remember any version other than like the most extremely powerful version of Quicksilver that moves that fast in the comics. Maybe I'm misremembering, but like all the versions of Quicksilver I've ever seen, he's been fast, but never like as fast as he was in the movies, if I can remember correctly. So
that was embarrassing.
What happened?
Oh no, I just flew into the dang hangar because my controls are screwed up.
It's because your computer's lagging because it can't run the game.
Yeah. Whatever.
So anyway, here we go. Let's watch this. I mean, this is really cool.
Drig's gone. It's over.
This right here. I feel like they skipped over some of the cool stuff. Hold on. That's not they're breaking the fight up because they're probably trying to avoid copyright. So let's just do the Makari part.
Yeah, we want the
But here it goes. This is how I believe, like, honestly, I would love to see like Barry or Wally or somebody do this to Superman because I truly believe they could. Because you have to remember when the Flash punches, it's not necessarily muscle. It's the speed force and how they, how he uses the leverage of the speed to give him his power. I would love to see Barry just do this to Clark one time, just once. Look at this. This is so fucking cool. I love it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would love to see that kind of speedster stuff used in like a
DVD. We did a reverse of it with Justice League versus Teen Titans where Superman breaks Flash's leg.
Oh yeah. Well, see, the thing about it is the issue with Superman versus the Flash is the Flash can't make a mistake. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Barry or Wally is fighting against Superman,
he messed up once.
Right, they have to do everything perfectly because all Superman needs is one opening. One opening.
Well, he was mind controlled, so.
Oh, okay. We have a super chat here from South Texas Shark. Did you hear that Warner Brothers Games wants more live stream? I'm not
live
surprised.
Service games, yeah, I'm not surprised.
That's a big problem with the gaming industry right now is fucking live service game. Not everything needs to be live service. Sometimes I want to play offline.
Yeah.
How about that? It's so annoying. That's what I love about games like Horizon Forbidden West and stuff like that, where if I don't have the internet, I can still play the fucking game. Just so fucking annoying. Oh, anyway. Thank you for the super chat. So the other movie is, or the other movie they subsequently canceled is Ant-Man and the Wasp 4, which, okay. I mean, I'm not heartbroken about that. I feel like we got 3 Ant-Man movies. I'm good. But the one thing about that kind of frustrates me is you can do an Ant-Man and Wasp movie with a moderate budget. It doesn't have to be a 250 million movie. You can do an Ant-Man and Wasp movie with like a fraction of that budget. So is this telling me that Marvel's not going to do any mid-budget movies anymore? Like everything is a $200 million film or nothing at all? Because they said hits. I'm assuming they mean billion-dollar movies. Because what else? What does that language mean otherwise?
Well, I think there's that issue where they're, and you have to blame the audience for it at the same time. Like usually you shouldn't have to blame the audience, but I think with Marvel's thing, I think they probably have a relevant argument around it. It's like now that, but it's also like the source of the problem is Marvel itself. They have Disney Plus there. You know the movies are going to be there within like what 4 to 6 months of the movie being in theaters. If something is mid-budget and you're like, oh, is it worth me going to see it in IMAX or even the big screen and spending $20 to $30 on my experience, or can I just wait? Because the thing is, that movie, do I have to wait? Do I have to watch that movie? Sorry, to watch the big event movie that's 4 months later, or can I just wait for it to be on Disney Plus and watch it for free at home?
Well, I said the same thing. I said that the problem is Disney has trained people, like a little bell for your dog when you're trying to feed it or whatever, has trained people that if you don't want to go to the movies, all you have to do is wait 4 weeks and it's going to come out in Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They need, in order to make, so they need to do a few different things here. There's a lot of moving parts, Disney. Pay attention to my stream here. I'm telling you, okay? You need to stop releasing stuff so quickly on your streaming service. That's fucked your movies up. It's not only fucked up Marvel, it's fucked up Pixar, it's fucked up Star Wars, it's fucked up all these movies where people just now are going to wait. If you got a family of 5 people, you're not going to go watch a fucking Pixar movie for $100 at a theater. You're going to wait till it comes out at home, because who cares about spoilers when it's a kid's movie? Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. And it was like really fast training if you think about it, because like it was during COVID. Like within like a few months, people just automatically assumed it was going to be released right when it was made. So it's kind of like, wow.
Yeah. But look, see, South Texas Shark, here's the thing. The vast majority of people online that did not see the Marvels in theaters, that waited for it to come out on Disney Plus, and this is I did all my research on this. I looked up every single tweet on this. All of them. All like thousands. I'm just kidding. I didn't. But the vast majority of people that I saw online that saw the movie at home said that they really loved the movie and they wish they would have seen it in theaters. But Marvel/Disney has trained people, as Paigey was saying, that if you just wait, you can see it at home and it doesn't matter if you have to go to the theaters or not. And since there's a lot of people astroturfing the Marvels before it ever came out, a lot of people saw it at home and said they liked it. Now, would that have made it $1 billion movie? I don't think so, but it certainly would have made a lot more money than what it actually made in theaters. And I think that's the issue. And then the third thing we have, speaking of the Marvels, is Captain Marvel 3. This is where Marvel made another mistake and took away the wrong fucking lessons with this. Should have been Captain Marvel 2. And you should have had Ms. Marvel and Photon as your supporting characters in the movie, advertise as supporting characters, even if you wanted to give them equal screen time, because the idea of the Marvels made a lot of people go, I didn't watch that show on TV, so now I'm not going to go see it at the movies. Or I don't know who this character is because I didn't watch WandaVision. And I'm completely confused.
The Marvels felt like it like a kind of like a soft reboot of the franchise, because it was Captain Marvel. That was the that's where the movie should like start. Like to make a franchise, the name started with Captain Marvel. It shouldn't have gone to the Marvels. It should have been Captain Marvel 2 within that franchise.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that go ahead, Darth Bunyan. Sorry.
Do you think it's a trend that they might have been trying to start off with grouping, like because of how wide their gallery is of characters, and instead of just having like a handful on like the stage to work with, they could have had like 3 or 4 times as such if they had groups of characters under just specific umbrellas.
Do you mean like because there's so many they have to sort of squeeze them into movies? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Look, I don't have an issue. The Marvels, to me, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I just don't know if it was necessarily the best thing to do with Captain Marvel as Captain Marvel's second film. I don't know if that was a good idea. I think Captain Marvel should have had her own second movie because usually like with Ant-Man and Captain America, when you get those movies where other characters come in, it's usually like the third movie, like the end. You want to make it a big, like, massive movie. They did that with the second movie, and Captain Marvel's been absent for so long. We hadn't seen her in forever, really. So
and every time she's appeared, she's like, I have to go fix something, and then it disappears.
They lean into that myth though in the movie. That's the part of it.
Yeah, I think what I would have liked to have seen in a second Captain Marvel movie is another movie that took place in between time, like not in the 90s, but sometime between the first movie and present day, where she's dealing with something that sets up a story for a movie that's coming out now, something that would have have some irreparable issue that has to be resolved in like 2025. You know what I mean? That would have been more fun to me.
This feels like a visual of like the whole Flash. Whenever they can't have a character from the other shows come over, they'll be like, she's off world, or they're off world, or they're they're basically off world.
But at the end of the day, I think the Marvels itself is a good movie. But the other issue with that is Disney did not have a proper way to advertise this movie because of the writer strike and the actor strike. And that's the other problem. And I know people hate it. They hate when it's mentioned. I don't think that's the sole reason that the movie did bad. I don't think that's the reason why, like 100%. But it is a big part of why people didn't know what the fuck this movie was before it came out.
My issue is I get what you're saying, but I am one of the audience that the Marvels was here for, because I did all of the groundwork, as everybody all here did, most of us. I was there for all of the shows when they came out. I've watched all of the movies. Do you know what I mean? So with Photon and Ms. Marvel not feeling just like tertiary characters that were there for yay girl power, they were significant ties and parts of the story, and that's what. But for me, the gamble that Marvel did paid off, and then everybody sitting there saying I hate it. It's just like, whoa,
think about this.
Follow the recipe. Just follow the recipe.
This news is a slap in the face to us, because we're the ones that put in all the time. We did all that work. We're the people that have been there supporting the Disney Plus series. We're supporting all the one-off movies. We're supporting all the group films. We've been doing that. Now Disney is saying, sorry, we need to appeal to another group that just doesn't come to watch these movies anymore.
Yeah.
So
they basically are trying to they want to target the normies, where they only go to movies, moviegoers, and for them, they don't watch television. They only go to the movies. So for them to they probably, like, when they went, they were confused about who this
absolutely 100%. That's true. But the thing is, I don't think that's why I think the experiment has failed. And Paige, we talked about this, I think back, like maybe it was even 2 years ago, where the big risk was going to be to see if people were going to go out and spend money on a movie that has such big ties to the Disney Plus. Because think about this, the Marvels is probably the only movie where they've ever heavily relied on the TV stuff to bring people into theaters. Right? I feel like it's the only one.
Yeah.
And I mean, when go ahead. Sorry.
The only one I can think of that also somewhat plays into the movie, to the television side of things, but
it's
also
Doctor
the
Strange.
movie. No, I was going to say Captain America 4.
Oh, yes.
But that hasn't come out yet, so that's a wait and
But
see.
the thing about
Doctor
it is, though,
Strange,
I actually think Captain America 4 will be pretty easy to digest, though. I don't think people.
Well, I think it's also because Endgame, which made $2 billion dollars, sets that movie up.
I will say that the Avengers Endgame, where Steve is on the bench and gives the shield to Captain.
Yeah, that's what Paige is saying. Yeah, it sets it up.
Yeah, it sets up in the movie to where the moviegoers it's a easier pill to swallow than watching Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, the other thing is that I feel like not having Bucky in that movie is actually going to be beneficial to them, because it won't require you to know any of the relationship between Sam and Bucky in that movie, because Bucky will be in Thunderbolt, Sam will be in Captain America 4. That's it. You don't really need to watch the other stuff to get that. I mean, there is some character growth between them. Probably Bucky's got the biggest character growth between the movies, the TV shows, and then Thunderbolts. But Sam is Sam. I don't think he's going to change that much going from what we know to wearing the Captain America suit. Plus, they're changing the suit. It's not going to be the same suit. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to change in that movie, and they're redoing the movie probably because of what happened with all the drama surrounding the Marvels and everything, between that and then obviously having some issues with the way the film was done. I just don't know. It feels really weird to me that Marvel is going, hey, we're going to try and appeal to the people that aren't watching anymore. Because like we were saying earlier, I don't know if we talked about this earlier here when it was off screen, but there's a 0% chance that the people that hate Marvel now are going to come back. They're going to see right through this. They're going to know that Marvel is doing this to sort of pander to them, and they're going to reject it. And then Marvel is going to end up with a bunch of movies where you've alienated the people that have been supporting you and loving you all along, and you're not going to get any love from the people that don't like you anymore. This is blood in the water. This should have never been mentioned. It should have never been talked about. It should have never been released to the press. This is just more and more problems with the way Marvel, with Bob running Disney, and Kevin Feige being fucking absent, not saying any of this or talking about any of this. The one thing that you can say about James Gunn is at least he communicates with people that are talking about his movies for the most part.
Do you think there's like a quantifiable level of where it's going to be too big to succeed, even no matter the brand, DC or Marvel?
I think Marvel has so much money behind it, it's going to take years before it goes away completely. I don't think we'll see like an overnight thing. And I don't think Marvel will ever go away. I think what they're hoping for, and this is my prediction, is that there's interest in the Fantastic Four, and there seems to be, because the casting is really good, except for, I know people don't like the idea that Pedro is Reed, but overall, the rest of the casting is pretty solid. I think that we talked about this a little bit. Two in particular are really, really good. People seem to be interested in the Fantastic Four. It's going to be set in a time where we can take the characters back to their more traditional storylines, which I think people really want. And we still have all of the X-Men stuff. So what will happen most likely is that they will just move into that content, and we'll see less of like the Young Avengers. We'll see less of Captain Marvel. We'll see less of these characters. They won't go away completely, but they won't be the focus of
no. But like, say for example, like it feels like that they were just expanding, and then now they're just like not retreating, but like expanding at a slower pace or like in a changed direction. Do you think that they will continue, like try to regrow at any point?
Based on, you mean like they did with it, like going back to where Infinity War and Endgame was? I think if they do it, they're going to do it with the X-Men. I think it'll be with the X-Men. I think the X-Men, if they do that right, they can build it into like a big, because the X-Men have so many events over the years. There's like a multitude of them to choose from that they could do.
The one story I really want with the X-Men is Avengers versus X-Men. That's the one thing I want. Like, it feels like a Civil War type movie. Like, it's one of those like Avengers movie, but it's not. It's like it's not. Like, Civil War was basically a Captain America movie, but it was an Avengers movie.
Yeah. All right, we got some super chats here, and then we'll go ahead and talk Omega. I'm gonna get these super chats up.
Okay, yeah. Now, I was just like, when it comes to the X-Men, I am just so scared that they're gonna screw it up again.
A lot of people are. I don't think there's any way it could be worse than the Fox stuff, though. That was really most of those were really bad.
I hear X-Men 97 is good, but I don't know. I'm sure you already talked about the showrunner being fired, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, I don't think that's going to affect the quality of this year. What I saw looks really good. I actually think X-Men 97 is going to be the launching platform for the live action stuff. I think people are going to see that and get hyped about it. They're going to
cough. I got to get the cough password for my cough brother. Cough.
Think about this though. Think about this. We have X-Men 97. And then we have Deadpool and Wolverine, two very X-Men centric properties coming out this year that I think is really going to be the launching pad.
And Deadpool has been faithful to the X-Men as much as it could, so maybe.
I think Deadpool is $1 billion movie for them. I think they're going to have a really strong year with Deadpool.
Did you 100%. Did you see the little video kind of like teaser of Deadpool about to dig up Logan and have a drawing of Deadpool plus Wolverine equals money.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like I think Deadpool is going to be the Barbenheimer of this year. I think that movie is going to be the big movie that's going to like blow everybody away. Cody here with the $10 super chat says, "I'll tell you something funny. Mean Girls released 4 months straight theaters in January, digital in February, streaming in March, and physical at the end of April." Yeah. Yep.
Refresh my memory. What's coming first, Kraven or Venom?
Venom, I believe. Wait, is it Kraven?
Venom's not till the end of the year.
I don't even
Kraven's
know.
in July or something.
Those movies are so far removed from my mind.
I think like with what we've got with Sony, the Venom 3 is everyone's just gonna have such goggles for that. It's gonna be so goated. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is the best." I actually
think Venom 3 has a potential to be a big movie money for Sony as well. I think this year.
Yeah. Inexplicably, Venom's making them money, which I guess it's like the Fox X-Men movies. I just don't like them, but other people seem to like them, so screw it. I guess me, I guess.
That's the other thing with Cody is saying here is, and it's not just unique to Disney, but a lot of these companies release their movies so quickly. Like Madam Web comes out next week, I think, on streaming. I think it's Friday. It's tomorrow.
Look, I have to ask you, Eric.
Anyway,
I was going to ask: is there a possibility Madam Web could make $0 on the digital market? Is there a possibility? Like,
I don't know,
because they're going to
I
have
think
the audacity.
it either comes out this weekend or next weekend. It's really soon, though.
Yeah, they're going to have the audacity to release it, and someone's and ask people to pay like what, $25-$30 for it on digital.
I don't know.
I did see the Steelbook. The audacity to have a Steelbook for that. But anyway,
let's see here. Cody says Iger doesn't understand Marvel Studios. No, but Bob. So I didn't like Bob Chapek at all. But Bob Iger wasn't much better. But now that he's come back, he's like, I'm going to be doing everything and changing everything. And so he's doing investor speak is what he's doing. And it's really, really, really fucking annoying.
Did you hear about what Sydney Sweeney said about Madam Web?
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday?
Which one? Refresh my memory. A couple things about it.
She goes, I was just hired as an actress in it. So I was just along for the ride for whatever was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if we talked about that on your last stream or on last stream. I don't remember.
Anthony here is Cody. Well, Cody was a member for 50 months. Thank you, Cody. Anthony's a member for 42 months. Sony's expected to lose $250 million on Madam Web.
Gosh,
yikes!
They need to stop making these really bad movies and sticking superheroes.
Yeah, they just hear, oh, it's a comic movie, oh, it's a Marvel movie. Okay, yeah, that'll make money. Just give them a small budget to make the movie with. This movie's gonna be bad. Who cares? It's a Marvel movie. It'll make money. Why didn't it make money? The movie was shit. Oh well, let's cut our losses and do something else.
They gave MCU Spider-Man and now they're losing money.
All right, so this one's the big one. This is what I want to talk about. We'll dedicate our time to this and then we'll watch a couple trailers. So the Batman Part 2 has been delayed until 2026. And I've seen people say that they expected this to happen. I want to just get everybody's sort of opinion on this. Expected, not expected. What are your thoughts on this?
I basically assume if the theory is right, well, I mean, from the CW perspective of Superman and Lois being canceled because of Superman, I think the reason why Batman was delayed a year is so that it can end, so that Batman Brave and the Bold can begin.
Oh, you mean so like one ends and then right away the next one comes out?
So the whole Elseworlds thing is shit.
Oh, John Cena.
Yeah, I was like, who was that? Then I realized I forgot Pagey's on here. So Cody says with the strikes that they
time is now.
Yeah, I mean, I can get that. Look at this. The crazy part is Robert Pattinson will be 40 years old and Christian Bale was 39 when Dark Knight came out and Ben was 40 when he became Batman. That is fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. So multi-topic says, wasn't Brave and Bold canceled? I think they changed the title. I think it's just the title's Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just Batman now.
Okay. No, in terms of delay, I actually didn't expect it to be delayed, but if it's delayed, you know what? So be it. Take your time to get whatever post-production you need correct. It's like the gaming industry. If it needs to be delayed, fine. Delay it, get it right.
Yeah. Before we move on, quick question. You know that the licensing agreement that Sony has for Spider-Man and stuff and the characters that they're in to keep making a movie every now and then to keep it there.
Yeah, every 5 years.
Is that still in effect? And is that why we got Madam Web?
Probably.
Yep.
I know it's still in effect, but that is probably why we end up getting Madam Web, just so they can say, we're doing stuff with the license, even though it's total garbage.
I'm looking now, the weird thing about that contract, which I'm sure Marvel's kicking themselves for ever doing this, but is as long as they make movies consistently within a certain amount of years, they keep it.
5 years.
It's 5 years. So they can't, Marvel can't legally just take it back. So That's where we are with that.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
It doesn't have to be Spider-Man. Okay.
It has to be within the universe. So.
Yep. Which is why we're getting weird shit. That's
Yeah.
probably why. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? They could have done Black Cat. I think a Black Cat movie would have been better.
Black Cat was
Silver Sable, something
Yep.
like that. Were they doing a Black Cat Silver Sable movie at one
They
point?
could do Spider-Gwen. They could do Miles Morales. They could do
Andrew Garfield as a Spider-Man.
Spider-Ham. They could do Spider-Ham. They could
Well,
do
they're supposedly,
Spider-Man 4.
speaking of that, they're supposed to be doing Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage, and apparently the rumor is he's talked about like them sort of kicking around the idea. So
Spider-Man 4 is looking really promising, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you're expecting these executives to be comic fans, and I don't think they give two damns what the character is as long as it's a superhero movie that's expected to make money, or they're just. Basically, long story short, I just have no faith in these executives making the correct decision of which characters to make because they don't know the source material, they don't care, they just want money.
Yeah.
King of Lesbians says, "I wish we could get a live action Batman Beyond." You and me both. I would love a live action.
That whole Oscar thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was just about to mention that.
Where he does this to
Danny DeVito. Yeah, I was like, man, if we would have had like Terry McGinnis, if he would have been old Bruce Wayne, oh my god, we were robbed.
My whole childhood on stage.
Well, that's the hot take.
Okay. Yeah,
that's the hot take in this situation. Now that you're behind that, my hot take is that what DC had planned before the takeover was better than what we have planned at the moment from what has been announced.
What do you mean, like before the James Gunn stuff?
All the projects that were in line to come out are more exciting than what is coming out with James Gunn in his early stages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the whole Nightwing one was really good.
Nightwing, Batman Beyond, like multiple movies leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then that would have been their reboot, which is what James Gunn is doing right now.
You're talking about the stuff that was supposed to happen because of the Flash movie, right?
Well, what Hamada had planned, it would have played off the Flash movie, and then they changed the Flash movie because they weren't doing them anymore. So the ending got completely changed. Different specific scenes in the movie were removed or changed and stuff like that.
Right.
I know, but there's like a bunch of DC movies that were supposed to happen that never happened, like the Arkham movie. That got changed into like the Patterson movie, you know.
And also the Penguin thing that was originally going to be an Arkham thing. I think there was an Arkham thing that was supposed to come out,
Well, now it's still coming out, but now that it was original, that Arkham thing was going to be a thing connected to this Batman thing, but now it's connected to the DCU.
Okay.
But Matt Reeves is producing it. So Matt Reeves is producing and directing the Batman Part 2. Then he's producing the Arkham show set in the DCU, which would be connected to, I guess, Andy Muschietti's Batman movie. And then he's producing the Caped Crusader animated show in a different universe.
So
he's a producer
it's so funny because
3 different universes of Batman.
All right, so Marvel's basically like, we want to go back to the normies and the casuals, right? And DC's like, fuck you all. We're going to give you spaghetti superhero world, and you're just going to eat it. You're going to eat it up. Yeah. Like, that's what you're going to do, basically.
I'm still wanting to see the Green Lantern show, and also the I know it's canceled now, but I wanted to see Justice League Dark. That was something I was looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. So the Batman 2 being delayed is disappointing. This from Multi-Topic Talk, a member for 24 months. So let me ask you this. He brings up a good point here. Is anybody disappointed in this movie getting delayed? Were you looking forward to this and now you're like, fuck, this sucks? Does anybody feel that way?
I didn't even realize it was meant to come out next year. I thought it was around this period it was coming out anyway. I was surprised when I saw that it was delayed because I didn't realize it was even coming out like a year from now or like just over a year from now.
I had a hunch it was going to be delayed, so I wasn't like looking forward to it per se, but I am looking forward to the story, just not now.
Zaya here says Green Lantern movie. Yeah, like what the fuck? Like I want that like tomorrow.
Well, I like the idea of the Lantern show that we're gonna get because it was like anthology and it gave you a different perspective. But then again, I don't know how they're necessarily going to tackle this. My concern with the Lantern show that's coming up is that it's going to be like dark and mysterious and too serious, and that's my concern. And there's like the irony of like being called Green Lantern, it's going to be dark. But anyway,
hey Ben, how are you? Oh wait, is that Vibe? Oh yeah, that's Vibe. Okay.
Yeah, that's Vibe.
Cool.
Vibe.
We have a super chat here from Staggervore, 499 super chat. Thank you, Staggervore, for helping me keep the lights off. I got my lights off tonight, except for my LEDs. Me and 3Dub got the message. We got the memo. Turn your lights off. Still no word on Batman Cape Crusader TV show. Was that still going to Prime, Amazon Prime, or Netflix? Was it? I don't remember.
It's still going to Amazon Prime.
I don't know. We haven't heard anything else about it though. Like I don't know a lot about this.
They don't advertise either.
That's right. We just talked about Invincible not advertising. So it could be out right now. It could literally be on Prime right now. We wouldn't know about it. They don't advertise anything. So
isn't Invincible coming out soon?
It's out today.
I literally have to like
Omega, you missed that part. Yeah, Invincible, the new episode came out tonight. Like literally tonight.
Great.
I literally had to like,
and it's fucking good. It is so good.
Nice. It's like, how dare you end it where you ended it? Like, are you serious? You make me wait. You get me like that? Are you goddamn serious?
Yeah.
I wonder how far are they gonna go? Compared to the comics, because there's that one thing with that one female Viltrumite. And
it looks like based on this episode, they might be going for all of it.
She might go for that. Oh, boy, that's gonna be a heavy episode.
I have to like eyeball every time Reacher, because they don't advertise. So I know it gets renewed because it's all as soon as it gets renewed, it plasters all over Twitter. But I have to like eyeball the release date, otherwise I'll miss it.
When are we gonna review freaking Doom 2?
Yeah, I was just talking about that here. We'll figure it out when we end the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got questions for Omega that I don't want to ask off stream because it will totally change how I am on stream.
Yeah. So we're gonna schedule it, but we'll set a hard date when we're like done.
Okay, cool.
Tonight, so, so I just started a poll in the chat about the delay on Batman 2, and we're gonna stop sharing that there quickly before we watch these two quick video clips and then wrap everything up. I want to ask everyone, what do we think about the Peacemaker news for the new season of Peacemaker? About it not really being okay. So apparently, it's not going to be a direct sequel to the first season because it's the DCU Peacemaker instead of the DCEU Peacemaker. Again, spaghetti world. Like, what the fuck?
Because DC never really had a consistent thing going on. So I'm disappointed, but I get it.
My issue with this is I fucking love season 1 of Peacemaker, and to know that season 2 is not going to be a direct sequel.
I think.
I think 2 days having friends at the season 1, literally.
Look, I think the thing is that it is a sequel. He's just trying to say that it's like he's making it clear that like pretty much anything that's. I think the thing that isn't canon is just literally Flash and Aquaman and that Justice League that show up. And also name drops. So name dropping Wonder Woman, Superman, and stuff like that. Saying that they're established in this world.
There was like a lot of worldwide consequences for where it ended. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he wants those implications in his new world where everybody's going to be guessing, oh, is that person whoever? Do you know what I mean? Is that person?
The reality is if you take away the characters that show up at the end, you could easily segue that into what's happening in the DCU, but because those Justice League members are at the end of the season, it makes it a little.
No. I'm saying like it would turn into a Skrull invasion because you're going to be asking who's a butterfly because it was.
Oh yeah. That part, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
They need to figure out a way to transition to where you don't. You know how like where it happened with Crisis on Infinite Earths, where it just like they put everything onto Earth Prime, and there was it was a transition. And then you have the Flash movie not doing a transition, and then you have like a new semi Blue Beetle, like that's going to like go into the DCU, but also not be attached to it. And then you have Superman Legacies. There's no transition.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. All right. So we're going to watch this trailer for The Crow. I haven't seen this yet. I've only seen pictures of it. We're going to watch this, give some thoughts on it. Then we're going to watch the Ken perform, if I can find it, the Ken performance from the Oscars. Since Paigey wants me to give my opinion on it, we'll look for that. Anyway, so let's see about this Crow stuff. If you guys have any other questions that are not about these two things, you can super chat and we will extend the conversation. So let's do this. Here we go. All right, I hate to pause so early on, but Who's the director for this? Do we know who this is? Is it a big name director? Hold on.
Not too sure.
Let me see.
Didn't realize Danny Houston was in this though. Never mind.
Rupert Sanders.
Okay, what has he done?
Oh,
not much.
Not much.
Snow White and the Huntsman, Ghost in the Shell, and now this.
Ooh,
Oh,
Snow White and Huntsman.
Hot take. Actually, enjoyed
that's
this show.
a resume. That is a hell of a resume.
He's a music video director, so that's what he does primarily. All right, so I was gonna say, no offense, visually this looks very generic right now. So let's see where we go with this.
Julie! Julie! Please don't do that!
Things right.
Okay, I like Bill Skarsgård, right? Is there everybody like this? Like him as an actor? I think he's really good. He's not doing much for me in this trailer right now. Like he's not. I'm not getting much out of him. So
Hashtag not my crow so far.
yeah, I'm a little bit like, okay, all right. Am I being over dramatic here? This just isn't doing much for me, honestly. I mean,
Man, it's a trailer. I mean, kind of graphically blew dude's head off with the freaking shotgun, but it's a trailer.
I'm not like.
Now.
So Darth is a huge Crow fan, and obviously he's not happy with the way this looks compared to the first film. It's really hard to be better than the first movie because the first movie is so fucking good. That original Crow movie is so fucking
that's gonna be
good.
so hard to top.
And it feels so quintessential 90s to me that this doesn't feel genuine. It feels very copy paste.
Mm-hmm.
It just. All right, let's try and get through it.
I have no idea what hell awaits you.
There's another thing is once you've established that you can't kill someone,
Like, why are you?
Why
are you doing this? Like, do you think that this is finally going to be the one that gets him?
You took a shotgun to the chest and got back up and killed the guy who shot him. You think a sword in the chest really going to do anything? Come on, bro.
It honestly reminds me of the whole Supergirl scene where in season 2 where Superman goes stops the robbers and they shoot him and then they come up and punch him. I'm like, if the bullets don't work, why the punching?
Michael says that's something the comic book holds up today. I read it the other. Yes, like the comic book is amazing. The first movie is great. I know they have been in development hell for a very long time with rebooting The Crow, and I just don't think this is it. We've still got a couple seconds on the trailer. Let's see where this goes. I don't think we're gonna get much out of it, though. I'm not.
Is it set in the modern day?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was wondering, why not just go and make it 90s? Why don't you just make it like a retro?
That is literally before you got here, Paigey. That is what I
use,
said. I'm like, if you're gonna do this, put it in the 90s. It makes sense.
And use like a 90s, like I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I don't know if this because it's Ozzy Osbourne, the song. I'm trying to think, did he release that in the 90s? But then they released the one that he did with Post Malone, like whenever it was. Why not just make the movie in the 90s and then put like fucking like I don't know, like what, like 9 Inch Nails music in there, Smashing Pumpkins or some shit.
Well, that's the thing. Exactly, Pearl Jam. They could have really just like put it out as a 90s movie
Radiohead,
with the
like,
music,
and
with
that,
everything. Yeah,
like Nirvana, like a really grungy movie, that type of music and stuff. Why? I don't know.
They could have even filmed it so it looks like it was filmed in the 90s, like with the grain,
or even just some
grain tone and everything.
stuff. Like, I was guessing when it was set, and then like one of the cars looked modern, and then I think they like showed like the dashboard or something like that. I don't know. To me, this would have been like the perfect thing.
Serenity
like
here says they should have did one of the female
thing.
crows or Anthony and said anything other than just trying to redo the original movie, which is what I feel like they're doing.
With what he's wearing, I'm sorry, but just no. The character design is awful.
The original movie perhaps had the best soundtrack of the decade for a movie. I mean, you could definitely argue that. Okay.
It's awful. He looks awful.
It looks like Jared Leto's Joker in the movie, basically.
And just gonna have the fact that he's gonna have his nips out for 60% of the movie.
Yeah. Good night, Hero's Journey.
Yeah, dude.
Right, we have
that's what brings in the audience.
Victor with the 1 super chat. Eric, when will be giving us the Peacemaker dance?
You
when
better.
the show comes back on, if the dance is still in the opening,
they need to redo it. They need another new fun
like a
opening.
new one or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, they gotta at least be as good or top the original.
Paige, what if they do the gritty? What if the gritty is the new Peacemaker?
I'd take
I
the
wouldn't be
gritty.
surprised.
What if they do the
like just Fortnite dances like that? Oh, imagine if it was like literally the gritty
That
tutorial.
lost me.
what if they do the gritty that turns into the Gangnam Style?
Oh my god!
Given how goofy this character is, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so let's watch this I'm Just Ken performance, and then we're going to wrap things up for the night. So, Paige, you wanted to know my opinion on it. Let's watch it. This will 1,000% get claimed. So, if you're watching this on playback, it will not be in the stream. You will have to become a Team Airrick member to see it, because I don't think it's going to stay up. I think it will get claimed. So, this wasn't it. I don't know if it was an interview or whatever, but didn't they say that they had to fight to keep this in the movie? That they didn't want to leave it in the movie or something like that?
Yeah, they had to fight for it.
Yeah, apparently they didn't want this scene because they felt like it was too focused on him or something, and then like they fought for it to keep it in.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
RIP the drain for Eric.
I actually think YouTube paused the stream until we stopped the music. Did you see that?
No, you just froze.
No, the whole thing stopped over here too. I was watching it on the stream.
Yeah, I think you're
I enjoyed that more than what I saw of the.
Anyway, we'll stop it there. I'm not taking any more chances. That'll definitely be out of the stream though. No, people have told me YouTube's doing that now.
Really?
Like if you're playing music
By the
on
way,
the stream and it's
do you
copyright,
want a
they will
funny
freeze it.
Oscar story? I sat there watching it. I had a 16-leg multi or parlay with Oscar nominees and winners. I won every single one up until Best Actress because I picked Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone won, and I almost.
That's what everybody thought that Lily was going to win.
Yeah.
Did you Robert Downey
Got everything
Jr.
else right.
Oscar?
Phone for the TV.
Oh my god! I was so
Yeah.
pissed off.
Wait, hold on. Where was it at? Yeah, but that's the thing is that's what I've heard from people. Is they won't freeze the guests, they will freeze the stream.
Are these people War Stew and the DC TV show?
No, they're like legitimate streamers. It's YouTube is something YouTube is doing now.
I think you said
That's why I
legitimate
stopped
people.
it. No, they're like big streamers. I've heard several people say that if you do it for too long, they'll just stop the stream completely and you have to restart. So I didn't want to take a chance on it. Anyway, that's where we're gonna wrap everything up.
Were you angry
Yeah.
that Spider-Verse didn't win Best Animated Movie, Eric? Or
I don't care about award show ultimately.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean, like for me, it doesn't matter really.
I
I feel
heard
bad
you
for
were
the
pretty
people.
triggered.
No, I feel bad for the people that I like. There are people that I think should be nominated, but ultimately I don't really care.
Well, from what I hear, I need to watch it, but apparently The Boy and the Heron is supposed to be phenomenally good.
Yes, yeah, that's what I've heard as well. So
I heard Robert Downey Jr. got his Oscar finally.
I know.
Yeah.
For,
By
Yeah,
the way,
it is, yeah.
speaking of that stuff that was said to him by Jimmy Kimmel was pretty fucking bad. I was like, that's really, really bad.
God damn.
That's why I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Kimmel anymore. Like, what'd he say?
No, he was talking about his drug addiction. I'm like, just
Come on, man.
don't
He's
joke
been
about
over that
man.
for how many decades now? Leave
Yeah,
the man
it's like that's the lowest hanging. That's below the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Didn't
honestly,
someone
at this
mention
point.
his dad, or was that Jimmy Kimmel as well?
No, it was Jimmy Kimmel talking directly to him.
Yeah, man, I thought he mentioned his dad as well, or something.
Oh, maybe he might have. I just saw that one clip there, though.
I think
So the next, yeah, go ahead. 3Dub.
I think he said something along the lines of this is your hierarchy or something that happened twice.
Yeah, this is your highest moment. Like one of you. He said, no, this is your highest moment. Well, I mean, one of your highest moments or something like that. Yeah. Victor, I'll be live on Saturday, but that's not the Dune stream because we're going to be doing the after party and I've got some plans for that. That might be a group stream again because it is going to be a pretty big conversation.
Is that strip poker or is that the other one?
No. It's just strip. There's no poker. Like we're not doing poker. It's just strip. Anyway, so we'll be live on Saturday, but I want to do it on Monday. But before we go, I was going to do this off stream, but let's do it now before we head out. Would you guys in the chat? I want you to chime in on this, and then we're going to answer the poll numbers. Would you rather a late night stream like this, where we talk about Dune, or an afternoon stream like the after party time on Monday? Which time would be better? And this will be for Darth Bunyan because it'll actually be better for him if we do an afternoon stream because it won't be like so late at night.
Yes and no, because I'll also be, I think, with Darren after the credits on Darren's stream on Monday as well.
So what time is his stream on Monday?
His is like 11:30 on
5:30
GMT.
Well,
so
6:30 for you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So if we do it, it'll be after that. I won't overlap on another like mutuals stream.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that.
I have D&D Monday now. So well, it's at 4 to 7 usually.
So we're talking like not as late as this, but not like at the same time as the after party, basically, like in between sometime.
Kind of like around 8 or 9ish.
Okay. All right. So we'll do it on Monday. It'll be an in between time to be determined. I'll talk to Darren to make sure I don't overlap his stream, and I'll do it late enough so that Omega can show up, but not so late that it's like 2:00 in the morning for Darth.
Yeah.
So we'll make it work. We'll accommodate it. So Monday will be the Dune review. You can anybody that wants to come in can, but we will be just talking exclusively about Dune. On Saturday will be the after party, so we'll be there then. But
so
anyway,
how far are we going from just the first two movies, or are we going full blown Heretics of Dune?
We can talk the first two movies, but if people want to talk about stuff from the books, they absolutely can. I don't
okay, cool.
That, so anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you, 3Dub. Thank you, Darth. Thank you, Paigey. Thank you, Omega, for dropping in.
Sure.
And thanks everybody in the chat. You guys make this work. Let's look at the poll now before we head out of here. And
how is that?
The poll is: are you upset about Batman 2 delay? 60% said no, so I guess Batman is not on the menu for a lot of people.
I kind of expected it. It's a slow burner of a franchise like that one, that universe.
Yeah. Oh look, King of Lesbian says Heretics of Dune. All right. Anyway, thanks,
you want to get into? Oh, sorry. We'll get into that once we start talking about it. It gets weird.
All right. Have a good night, and if there's anything missing from this, watch for the uncut version on the Team Airrick member exclusives. All right, see you right later.